Hello everyone in year 7. We are going to continue our studies and our topic is still the continent of America, the northern part first, so North America. And we are going to continue learning about rivers, lakes, and first the climate. But before doing all these, let's have a quick look at the things we have learned so far. So just really quick recap on the things we learned. So the physical features of North America, just in a nutshell. The whole region is basically Canada and the United States. These two countries cover most of North America. We learned about some of the waters which border North America, namely the Arctic, the Atlantic, the Pacific Ocean. Yeah, and this was the bay or gulf which you don't really remember last time when we checked the activity book tasks. So please remember the exact location of Hudson Bay. Canadian Shield, the old landmass, granite is also symbolized here. The huge, vast prairie of the Great Plains can be seen. The Rocky Mountains is an older mountain range, but is part of the young Cordilleras or Pacific Mountain Range system. We learned this one as well. Labrador and Newfoundland, the big peninsulas, are also symbolized there. The Arctic Ocean lies to the north of the region. Here you can see a map of that. The Gulf of Mexico lies to the south. North America is the third largest continent in the world if we separate it from the rest of America. Okay, we are not going to deal with these now. And later on we will have a look at the rivers. But we mentioned the big Canadian Shield. The word shield refers to the large core of very old rock that lies at the base of each continent. So this is a huge landmass area, and here you can see the picture of the rocks. In North America, this rock core was exposed thousands of years ago during the ice ages, glaciers or glaciers. You can see it like this, scraped across the whole land. And this took the soil with them. So we mentioned this, that ice coverings covered the surface. The big plains are the young regions of North America. Here you can see a picture of the prairie. Now we are not going to deal with these, but the Great Lakes, that's important, that ice formed the basic beds of these lakes. The deepest one is Lake Superior. On average, it's more than 140 meters deep. And Lake Superior is as almost big as Hungary, 80-something thousand square kilometers, as I can remember. And the deepest part is more than 400 meters. So actually, these are quite big lakes. No small wonder they are called Great Lakes. So Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, Lake Erie, Lake Ontario. Between Erie and Ontario, in Ontario, the Niagara Falls. Here you can see a satellite image of the lakes. Basically, they are the world's largest group of freshwater lakes. And the St. Lawrence River connects the Great Lakes to the ocean. So this part here, yeah. And what ocean is this? The Atlantic Ocean. So this is just, as I told you, a quick recap on the things we learned. Mount McKinley, the highest peak in North America. You can see a nice image of that as well. The Appalachians, old mountain ranges in the east of the continent, rounded tops, peaks, and wide valleys. Rocky Mountains in the Cordilleras. We could see the prairies. Just one more picture. The river Mississippi can be seen here as it empties into the Gulf of Mexico. So after this recap, I would like you to check some more information with me. If I can stop sharing the image, that would be lovely. Okay, so let's continue our studies with something special. We learned about the different climate zones and regions of the whole planet. So basically, it's like a quick revision again, because in North America, you can find some of these. So if you could have a look at my map here, that would be lovely. I'm trying to show you this image. Yes, hopefully you can see it now. So you can see here, North America, the different colors symbolize the different climate zones there. And if you open your book at page 49, you can read about all these. So first and foremost, the islands of the northern coast, including the biggest island on Earth, Greenland, belong to the northern polar zone and are covered with ice in the Arctic climate. So you can see this here, there's this kind of purple-like color. So that is the first climate we have to deal with. I'm going to put here a big P just to symbolize that these are part of the polar zone. The southern part of the zone is the area of the tundra climate. So I'm just going to place here big T. So it's like a transitory zone between the polar parts and the taiga region. So the southern part of the zone is the area of the tundra. In the temperate zone, there's the continental climate on the Great Plain and the Mississippi Plain. So let's symbolize these as well. I'm just going to put here a big C to show you that this is the continental zone. Actually, this part here, the yellow part, is the bit more humid section of it, and there's the bit more arid section as we go further away from the ocean. So this part here is also continental, but more arid. I will just put here an A to show you that. And then there are the subtropical parts of the area. In the eastern part of North America is the wet or humid subtropical part. That is also called monsoon. So I'm just going to put here an M. While in the western part of the continent is the dry subtropical area. It's also called Mediterranean climate. So I'm just this kind of pinkish part, so Mediterranean. I'm just going to write that down. Of course, there's the mountain zone here. So this is why they put here this blue color, because the mountains are kind of standing out of all the other climate zones. The weather conditions are really different there. And there are also tropical desert zones in North America. They are symbolized by these yellowish parts here. So I'm just going to put there the letter D. Okay, so actually, if we completed this one, now you can start working in your book. On page 47, they just list all the different climate zones there, and you can symbolize them all. Please make sure that you symbolize the taiga parts. I'm just going to write it here. This bigger section is the taiga, tundra, and the polar Arctic zone is right here in the north. I don't know why, but they put here the word taiga a couple of times. Just do not care with that. You can just symbolize it similarly, like me in my book. Okay, so if you finished that, we can have a quick look of something else, namely the rivers of the country. And I would like to show you a different image for that. Please open your book, page 50, where you can read about rivers and lakes. And I would like to find a new map where you can see the most important parts we need to know. And I'm going to clear this map. Okay. So let's see. So here you can find all the major waters of North America, not just seas and oceans, bays and gulfs, but the rivers as well. And I'm going to highlight just some of them because we don't need all of these. So the first one we are going to deal with is the Big River, which goes from the Great Lake region to the Atlantic Ocean, and it's a really important waterway. It's called St. Lawrence River. So this is the first one you need to remember. I don't want you to remember the rivers in the north. They are not really mentioned in the book either, but maybe just one of them can be important, the river Yukon, which is in Alaska. Okay, the really big river which flows into the southern part of North American waters, the Gulf of Mexico, is Mississippi. Yeah, it flows from Minnesota in the north to its enormous delta in the Gulf of Mexico, and the river flows through the central states. So basically in the midsection of North America. It's a really busy waterway suitable for cargo boats for almost 3,000 kilometers. So it's a big one. Now we have two rivers, St. Lawrence River and the Mississippi mentioned. The next one is going to be the Colorado River, named after the reddish stones in the region, in the canyon, the famous canyon called Grand Canyon. Probably you heard about that. And over millions of years, the waters of the Colorado River and its tributaries carved the way through solid rock. So this is how the canyon was formed. And because the area is really dry and arid, it means that there's no water to erode the stones. So the cliff walls are all vertical. And this is why it looks so mesmerizing and picturesque all over the place. At some points, the canyon is around 1.6 kilometers deep, and the stones are more than 2,000 million years old. Lots of fossils can be found in the region, so it's a really special place for archaeologists and other scientists. Then we mentioned the Great Lakes, the biggest freshwater source of the world, as it's in the book as well. It's about 1/5 of the world's freshwater in the 5 lakes, Lake Superior, Michigan, Huron, Erie, Ontario, and between the last two, the Niagara Falls. And we mentioned the St. Lawrence River, which empties into the Atlantic Ocean. The Niagara River, which joins Lakes Erie and Ontario, is also a really famous tourist attraction. So that's it really. These are the most important rivers and lakes. And if you now open your workbook on page 48, you can just find all these on the map. You need to write their names there. As I can see, you need to name all the 5 big lakes. You can see them right here on this map. So it's easier to do it if you stop the video footage and you find them there. After that, please do task 5 as well. The book on page 50 can help you find the correct answers. Okay, then I would like to show you some photographs which can be important now for us. We mentioned some big important rivers here. Before that, you can see an image of the prairie. And then I would like to speak about the rivers once again. So you can see here the Mississippi, which is a very long waterway in North America. The next one was the St. Lawrence River, important waterway to the Atlantic Ocean. One more image of that. So as you can see, it's near big cities, or goes basically across big cities as well. The famous Colorado River with the canyon, you can see the reddish hue of the stones. And this is why the name is color, or Colorado, because of the special colors of the little particles and deposits in the riverbed. Another image and one more image of the same place. And the famous Niagara Falls between Lake Erie and Ontario. It's the short Niagara River between the two lakes, basically. These lakes, actually, Erie and Ontario, is like fourth of Hungary's size, so not that big, but they are quite deep. So if you check some important data about them, you will see that they are much deeper than our lakes in Hungary. Some tourists are posing there in front of the camera, really popular tourist site. Yeah, and this is how we finish. The book can help you with all the tasks. Don't forget to check page 49 and 50 and read all the important facts about climate, waters, and lakes. And after that, don't forget the workbook tasks either. So keep up good work. See you later. Until then, goodbye.